U.S. Justice Department defines sexual assault as any type of sexual contact or behavior that occurs without the consent of the recipient. Forced sexual intercourse, forced sodomy, child molestation, incest, fondling, and attempted rape all fall under this category. Sexual assault isn't 100% preventable, but there are various ways to protect yourself against a random act of violence. Number 1, be aware of your surroundings. Number 2, if you feel uncomfortable around someone, leave immediately. Number 3, travel with others and keep a cell phone nearby to call 911. Number 4, walk near the street in a brightly lit area. Number 5, carry a noise-making device. If you have been sexually assaulted, Harlem Hospital, located on 137th Street between Lenox and 5th Avenue, provides medical services and counseling in room 6111 Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the Center for Victim Support, or go to www.svfreenyc.org for more information on sexual violence.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the listening audience. I'm Maurice Selby, and you're listening to Health in Harlem on WHCR 90.3 FM New York, the voice of Harlem. And ladies and gentlemen, we have with us tonight from Harlem Hospital, Dr. Rhonda Truesdale. She is an endocrinologist and actually the chief of endocrinology at Harlem Hospital Center, and we're talking about thyroid disease tonight. Very important topic, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the reasons being that you might have an issue right now and you don't even know what's going on. So get your notepads out and get ready to take some very good notes. And remember, do not be stingy with this information, ladies and gentlemen. We would love for you to share this information with anyone you encounter in your daily life because it could be life-saving. So welcome back to the show, Dr. Truesdale.
Good to be back, Maurice.
And might I add that you are a SUNY Downstate Medical Center or College of Medicine graduate.
Always got to shout out the medical school.
Yes, indeed. So welcome back. And in general, actually, just could you give us an overview of endocrinology? We can start off really general and just let us know what this field is and what you do.
So endocrinology is a field that actually covers a lot of different parts of the body because it's basically the study of hormones. And hormones are chemicals that circulate in the bloodstream that tell other organs what to do, coordinate things, just kind of make sure everything stays in balance.
Got it.
And the thyroid gland is actually a major part of keeping everything working the way it's supposed to. One of the things I commonly talk about is that everyone's supposed to have a thyroid gland. So let's start with that because sometimes people come to me and they go, I've got thyroid. And I'm like, well, you're supposed to have a thyroid. That's a good thing to have a thyroid gland. We just need to make sure it's working properly. So what the thyroid does is it makes thyroid hormone. And the thyroid hormone circulates all around the body and just helps keep your whole metabolism at a level even rate. So it helps everything from how fast or slow your hair grows, how fast or slow your nails grow. If you go to run for the bus, does your heart, increase appropriately? When you're trying to go to sleep, does your heart decrease appropriately? Do you have normal bowel movements, good energy level, good strength? So it really just affects every single part of your body. When the thyroid gland goes wacky, then that's when people start to have symptoms. And what's deceiving about thyroid disease is that a lot of these symptoms seem kind of vague, and people don't quite understand what's going on. They just feel like something's not right.
And that's what it all comes down to, right? Paying attention to your body, and just for one, actually, and this is something that we always try to get across every single week on this show, is that you need to be visiting your primary care physician on a regular basis, so that one, if there is an issue and you're not probably not symptomatic yet, we can catch it and nip it in the bud. But also, if you do start to have symptoms, we can get you early as well.
Right. And this is a disease that's usually easy to screen for. It's actually pretty easy to treat as well. So this isn't something you need to be scared of. This is something that you want to have addressed as fast as possible and, get on the right treatment as fast as possible. So
in terms of some of the complications that can arise from this, what can happen if a person doesn't get something like this addressed early?
So if you're, as I said before, the thyroid gland helps regulate metabolism, right? So if the thyroid gland is producing way too much hormone, it's going to actually cause your metabolic rate to be very high. And I sometimes say it's sort of like your body's running a marathon, even if you're sitting in a chair. So, you could have a very high heart rate, sweating a lot. We call it heat intolerance. Everybody in the room feels fine. You're sweating. You're like, why?
Is it
why
it's burning in here?
What's going on? Where's the air conditioner in here? Just feeling more tired than usual. And a lot of people have trouble sleeping. So they go to bed and just kind of toss and turn. And then they don't understand why, they're not able to get enough sleep.
Got it.
So if the thyroid is too high, it's just you're going and going and going. Your body's going and going, but you're not really getting anywhere. And it's kind of tiring, actually, to always have a high heart rate, not be able to sleep as well. I can always tell the really hyperthyroid patients in my clinic, because they're the ones who are a bit snippy. So if you have a partner who's being a little bit more irritable, or a family member, it might be that. If that's their normal personality, then that's their normal personality. But if there's been a change in personality, they just seem to be getting upset a lot more easily, angry a lot faster. They'll come in sometimes to the clinic and go, I've been waiting a whole 15 minutes,
Oh, it's that.
You're like, well, 15 minutes, like, we got to take your blood pressure. We got to get you registered. And there's just that sort of like anxiety of irritability and nervousness that can come along with hyperthyroidism.
So I know we're probably raising eyebrows out there right now. People are like, yo, that's me. Or they know of an individual. But again, and this is why, we don't want to scare you out there, ladies and gentlemen, but we're trying to give you information so that you can act on it. And, for one, going for routine medical screening is, as we said, but if you are experiencing some of the symptoms that we're going to get into as we go on throughout the show, then this is something, you need to get addressed. So as far as who is affected by thyroid disease, who are we talking about here?
So thyroid disease has a big family component. So a lot of times when I diagnose one person with thyroid disease, I ask, does anyone else in the family have thyroid disease? And oftentimes people will say, oh, yes, actually, I think my mom told me that, somebody else had it. If someone says to me, oh, no one in the family has thyroid disease, I'm like, well, next time you go to a big family event, ask around, and oftentimes they'll come back and say, oh, I didn't realize that 3 of my aunts are on medication for thyroid disease. So if it's in the family, you should definitely be getting screened for thyroid disease.
Got it. And are there any other risk factors that we need to be on the lookout for aside from the family history?
It's nothing really stands out other than the family history. Yeah.
Got it. And when we talk about because you said thyroid can become wacky, so it squirts out too much. But I'm also assuming that you can have the opposite effect
Right.
as well.
That often happens in endocrine. If it's too much, it's
You can
bad. If
be
it's too
too
little,
little.
it's bad, right? Sometimes I call the thyroid hormone the Goldilocks. Remember the story of Goldilocks and the three bears? And she went in the house and she said, well, this
Going
one's
way
too
back.
hot. This one's too cold. This one's just right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're hyper, it's like everything's too hot, right? But if you're hypo and your thyroid gland isn't making enough thyroid hormone anymore, then it's all the opposite symptoms. You're too cold. Why is everyone else fine? I'm putting on a sweater. You start to feel sluggish, sleeping all the time instead of just sleeping. When you're hyper, you have the problem you can't get to sleep. When you're hypo, you just kind of want to go home and take a nap all the time. Constipation is also a frequent complaint with people who have hypothyroidism. So, and of course, weight gain. So some weight gain can be associated with having a low thyroid. Now, sometimes people who have a low thyroid, who've been gaining weight, come back and say, well, if you fix my thyroid, am I going to be skinny? Unfortunately, you won't be skinny, but you could lose a few pounds and stop gaining, a few extra pounds along the way. So, everything just kind of slows down when you have hypothyroidism.
Yes.
And so we have medication that can help, replace that and bring you back up to normal and get you back into your normal routine again.
Now, in terms of who in central Harlem and let's even talk about the surrounding boroughs as well throughout New York City, how prevalent is this disease in New York City, and is it on a rise, or are we seeing a leveling off? What is the state of this disease in our communities here in New York City?
One of the things I talk about in many meetings in the hospital is that thyroid disease is a lot more prevalent in our community than people really give it credit for. I think everyone's like, oh, thyroid, isn't that some, occasional disease that we talk about but not many people have. But to be honest, a good majority of my clinic is actually people coming in with complaints about their thyroid. They were having trouble sleeping, or they were having trouble with weight loss or constipation. Their doctor screened them for thyroid disease. It's very easy to screen for thyroid disease at your doctor's visit. They got diagnosed, and then they get sent over to me to help make sure they get back on track.
Got it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Health in Harlem on Whcr 90.3 FM New York, the voice of Harlem. You can call in with any questions, comments, or concerns about tonight's show at 212-650-6903. That's 212-650-6903. You're listening to Health in Harlem on WHCR. We will be right back. Stay with us.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Tired of those same old songs you hear on those other stations? For neo soul, R&B, hip hop, and lifestyle advice, tune into The J Spot with me, Jay Lee the Fabulous, every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m., bringing positive vibes and a soulful experience to the airwaves on WHCR 90.3 FM New York, the voice of Harlem.
There's hundreds of fun and simple things you and your family can do to live a healthier lifestyle. Here's 20 of them. Walk to work, walk the dog, have the dog walk you, take a hike, take a bike, skate, dance, hop, jump, do the Humpty Hump, skip seconds, skip dessert, skip to my loo, don't skip breakfast, drink H2O, lower your sodium, raise the roof, shake your booty, stock up on vegetables, and don't forget to eat them. Search We Can online to find more ways you and your family can get healthy together. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
If you know the symptoms and get the facts, you'll know the signs of a heart attack. Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if it sounds familiar, call 911.
Pain in your neck, chest,
arms or jaw,
shortness of breath.
Please tell us more. Cold sweats and nausea, tiredness.
It's time to take it
serious. Back pain, stomach pain, shortness of breath. Cold sweats, nausea, dizziness. If you know the symptoms and heed the signs, you'll be around for a long, long time. Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, If any sound familiar, call 911.
Learn a song that could save your life. Get a free download at womenshealth.gov/heart attack.
Women, listen to me, and when I'm done, if any sound familiar, call 911. If any sound familiar, call 911.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
911.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Broken homes and families struggle to survive. Children of abuse.
Welcome back to the one and only Health in Harlem on WHCR 90.3 FM New York. I'm Maurice Selby. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering, I know they're probably listening saying, where is that baritone voice that accompanies mine every single week? Unfortunately, Sean Shivers, our co-host on Health in Harlem, could not make it tonight. But we know that he's still with us in spirit. And, you know, he'll always be back. So that's the good news. But shout out to Sean Shivers out there. And hopefully everything is all right and you're doing okay, man. All right. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a veteran with us from Harlem Hospital Center. We have Dr. Rhonda Truesdale. She is the chief of endocrinology, and we're talking about thyroid disease tonight. And in opening, some of the things that we talked about were concerning signs and symptoms of either hyper or hypothyroidism. You can have anxiety, your heart racing, diarrhea, or just weight loss, increased appetite, and you've been eating everything and still losing weight. These are some of the things to be on the lookout for when we're talking about hyperthyroidism. But then we have the opposite, where you could be gaining weight, low appetite, always feeling like it's cold and you can't ever warm up, and also sleep disturbance as well. So these are some of the things that we're looking out for with hypothyroidism, correct?
Correct.
All righty. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Of course I am, Maurice.
Hello.
And Dr. Truesdale.
Awesome. How are you today?
I'm fine, and how are you?
Good, good. And this is Brother Smiley, correct?
Absolutely.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for calling in tonight. And you have a question for our expert?
Yes, I do, and this probably affects, like she says, the generational. I have 2 or 3 family members that have the thyroid condition, but I think my grandmother had it in her throat, and maybe a great uncle. And I, in my own understanding, I thought my great uncle had lumbago because I noticed that his throat was much larger than what you would call normal. So what are the different types of thyroid, and where do they occur in the body?
That's a great question. So even within one family, you can have different types of thyroid disease come up. So as I said before, hyperthyroidism, that could often be caused by something called Graves' disease, which always sounds terrible, right? I mean, why do they have the word grave in a disease? But
it doesn't sound very good at all.
No, it doesn't sound promising for the future. But it ends up that it's Dr. Graves was the one who first discovered it, and so he named it after himself. And Graves' disease is an autoimmune disease where basically your body's kind of attacking yourself, and in the process of attacking yourself, it's actually activating the thyroid gland, causing hyperthyroidism. And with Graves' disease, you get a lot of the classic textbook signs. You get a very large thyroid, just kind of keeps growing. And it can also actually cause eye symptoms where you start to see the eyes being physically pushed out of the socket. So someone sort of looks like they're staring at you all the time. And that actually affects one eye more than the other most of the time. So people may say, well, my left eye feels fine, but my right eye is the one that's bothering me. So that's Graves' disease. With hypothyroidism, it can be the immune system attacking the thyroid, but it's not activating the thyroid, it's actually shutting the thyroid down. So that can cause hypothyroidism. So those are probably the 2 common autoimmune related diseases that run in families. And that's why I said, because they run in families and they're both kind of ultimately the immune system causing problems, some family members may have hyper and some family members may have hypothyroidism.
Okay. And would you then say, relating to the Graves' disease, that it's not, my true question is, one eye runs larger in my family circle. So would that be a cause to address both thyroid and Graves' disease, or one or the other? Because I noticed that generationally. We all have one big eye and one little eye.
That could definitely be due to Graves' disease running in the family, and I would definitely recommend everyone who has that should go to a doctor and ask to have their thyroid checked.
Okay. Thank you so much, Doctor.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you very much, Brother Smiley. Always good to hear from you.
Yes, sir. I'm a participant.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. Good night.
Have a good night. So, one of the things that I really want to point out, too, is the fact that, a lot of the things that we're talking about regarding symptoms that people experience and the things that happen to them, it seems like just, an annoyance, sort of this anxiety state that a person might be in. They get the palpitations, which can be pretty intermittent, or it could be something that's sustained. But there are things that people live with and struggle with, but they do it. And it might affect their quality of life a bit, but, there's some people that don't even know that they have this problem and they keep going. Or people on the other side that, go and are evaluated and are treated. But I want to make the point, ladies and gentlemen, that this is a potentially deadly disease as well, because there's things like thyroid storm, which is probably the ultimate extreme in terms of hyperthyroidism. And then you have the opposite with myxedema coma, where it's severe hypothyroidism. So it's not just the quality of life or we want to make you comfortable type thing, but this is something that, as we were saying earlier, we want to diagnose and begin to treat and observe you early, because it could be a serious problem.
Definitely. And the extremes are rare.
They're rare. True story. Just to make, because I don't want to.
So I
scare
want everyone
people.
running
All
out
right.
thinking they're going to be, sitting in the intensive care unit tomorrow if they have thyroid disease. But you bring up a good point that sometimes people get a bit complacent, right? Like if everyone in the family has thyroid disease and the doctor's told you over the years, oh, you have thyroid disease, and you go on medicine and you feel better, so then you stop your medicine, and then, maybe some symptoms come back and you consider going back. If you're going on and off the medicine and you're not really getting followed regularly for thyroid disease, next thing you know, like something could come along and really tip you over. I had a situation where a patient went to a shrimp eating contest in the middle of summer. Shrimp has a lot of iodine, and it just seemed to be, I don't know how many buckets of shrimp he ate that day, but it pushed him over into thyroid storm, and the next day he was quite ill in the hospital. So you can go along and sort of, treat it, not treat it, feel okay, get through. But you just have to be wary that one day something may happen, or if you get a severe, if you're older, you get a severe pneumonia or something, it can, not having your thyroid in balance can really, become a problem when you're trying to fight a big stress or something severe happens.
Got it. So in terms of testing and diagnosing this disease, what do you have to do for an individual, or what is the evaluation? Person comes in with these complaints, what happens with that individual?
So a person comes in with these complaints, and always have to remind junior doctors that there's no single symptom that really is definitive for thyroid disease, right? So someone can say, I'm tired, and you may say, well, there's lots of reasons to be tired, right? Like when you were in school, you had an exam coming up, you were studying a lot, you get tired, right? Or if you're a new mom and you have a baby who's crying all the time,
Whoa.
you can be tired. So there's lots of reasons to be tired. So it's really kind of putting a lot of symptoms together, just saying like something's not right, something's persistently not right. And really, kind of saying to your doctor, look, I know something's not right. This is not just sort of run-of-the-mill, I'm tired. And if you have the family history, of course, always bring that up so that, you make sure that you get tested. The testing, when you're there in the doctor's office, they can do an exam. They can see if the thyroid's enlarged, tender. As I said, sometimes with thyroid disease, you also get eye problems, so they can look for eye problems as well. If you're hyperthyroid, you might have a bad tremor. So that's one of the things they can look for as well. But the ultimate testing is really the blood test. As I said, it's very easy to check for. Typically, they start with what's called a TSH, or a thyroid stimulating hormone, just a measurement of the hormone to see if that's in the normal range. And then if more testing is needed, they can test some other thyroid hormones as well. But as I said, it's a blood test, and they can run that just as they're looking to make sure that you don't have anemia or that your chemistry is okay. They
or
can
just routine examination.
Just routine, they just throw that in there, throw the TSH in there, and see what's going on with your thyroid. So can be diagnosed quite easily with a blood test. And then once it's determined what kind of thyroid condition you're talking about, whether it's hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism, then some different treatment options become available. For both hyper and hypo, you can be treated with pills. So if your thyroid is too low, we have medication. It's been around since the 1950s. It's very easy to take. It's very safe. It helps bring your thyroid hormone levels back up to normal. If the thyroid is too high, then there's pills that can help bring the thyroid back down to normal. If the pills don't work with the hyperthyroidism, then I talk to people about radioactive iodine. With radioactive iodine, people hear the word radiation and they start thinking about TVs and the movies and
Spider-Man and all this stuff.
No one's brought up Spider-Man to me yet, but
that was I don't know why. Because he got bit by a radioactive spider.
He got bit by a radioactive spider. Maybe he did have a thyroid problem after all. Anyway, but it's a radiation that comes in a pill, and it's very specifically aimed to the thyroid gland. So no, weight loss, nausea, vomiting, hair loss, none of that. It's a pretty simple treatment for people to follow. So. If it's hyper, we try to bring it down. If it's hypo, we try to bring it back up.
Got it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Health in Harlem on Whcr 90.3 FM New York, the voice of Harlem. You can call in like Brother Smiley did at 212-650-6903 if you have any questions, comments, or concerns about tonight's show. That is 212-650-6903. You're listening to Health in Harlem on WHCR 90.3 FM New York. We will be back. Stay with us.
WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Today, you hit the snooze bar. You checked your email. You checked your fantasy football team. You rejected an insulting trade offer. You ate your lunch. You did all the things that one normally does the day before a 175-mile-per-hour hurricane blows through your city, leaving it in a state of ruin. You never know when the day before is the day before. Prepare for tomorrow at ready.gov/today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
It's not always easy being a dad.
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
What? What do you mean she's not coming?
But it's always worth it.
It's the fairy princess!
It is I, Grooves Zinkelbell. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Vinny B of the Vinny B Showcase. Tune in every Thursday from 8 to 12 midnight for some solid cultural roots music and some sweet lovers rock. Also, informative interviews, and giveaways. Right here on the Vinny B Showcase every Thursday, 8 through 12 midnight on WHCR 90.3 FM. Peace.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to have healing. I'm Maurice Selby, and you're listening to Health in Harlem on WHCR 90.3 FM New York, the voice of Harlem. And tonight we have with us from Harlem Hospital, Dr. Rhonda Truesdale. She is the chief of endocrinology at Harlem Hospital Center. And tonight we are talking about thyroid disease, ladies and gentlemen. We actually have another caller on the line with us. Hello, caller. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. And could you tell us your name and where you're from?
My name is Adrian, and I'm from Harlem.
Awesome. Okay, Adrian. And you have a question for Dr. Truesdale?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
I have been diagnosed with multinodule on my thyroids. I've been the last year testing, and it's kind of confusing because it's the T3s and the T5s. What it's supposed to be, mine is not. Like, I'm not over or under. I'm like on the borderline. And so therefore the just concerned with the multinodules on my, I've had a test to scan it and the uptake of the iodine pills. And I'm just, so they want to do ablation, and I'm still not clear on what that is.
Got it. On an ablation. Okay, so this is good. I'm glad you called in with these questions, because this is actually a topic we were going to address next in our program. So, Dr. Truesdale?
Yes. The next thing we were planning on talking about is just what you brought up, was the thyroid nodules. I see this all the time in Harlem. It's a very, very common disease. It's so common, I tell people if you live long enough, you're going to get a thyroid nodule. It's just very common in our patient population. What it sounds like has happened is that your thyroid nodules might be acting up and producing a little bit more thyroid hormone than they're supposed to. And so I sort of explain it to people like a teenager, right? You leave the house, the teenager takes over the house, they start acting up, they're not listening to the rules, they're doing whatever they want, right? So somewhere in your thyroid, you got a little group of cells acting like a teenager, running out of control. And so overall, your body may have an appropriate amount of thyroid hormone. You may be feeling fine. But your thyroid itself is acting up a little bit. And so the way to kind of calm that down is to use the radioactive iodine that we brought up at the last session. And the radioactive iodine is plain old boring iodine, something you can buy at the CVS to put on cuts. For those of you who still remember putting iodine on, on cuts.
Oh, my goodness.
And they take that iodine and they attach a small little amount of radiation to it. It's a tiny, tiny amount. And then when you take the pill, that iodine goes directly into the thyroid gland, and it's actually taken up by the cells that are causing the problems. And so what it can do is the radioactive iodine can calm down those nodules that are producing too much thyroid hormone for you, and get the whole gland to hopefully come back to its normal state and get back into balance. So that sounds like what they're recommending is that you do the radioactive iodine just to get everything back under control.
All right.
Now, did they ask if you needed to have any of your thyroid nodules biopsied or do a fine needle?
I had them because it's 3 of them.
Three of them.
They were non-cancerous.
Right. So that's what we worry about with thyroid nodules is that, anytime we have a nodule, it's always a possibility that things can get out of control to the point of creating a cancer. And so if you have thyroid nodules, the doctor often recommends doing a biopsy or fine needle aspiration. You could probably tell the audience as well as I could. They do the ultrasound, which is what they use for the babies, to help figure out where to take a sample from. And the needle that's used for the biopsy is smaller than a blood drawing needle. It's a very tiny needle. They just need to go in and get a small sample, be able to look at the cells and see whether there's any evidence of cancer or not. So it sounds like your test came back negative, and that's great.
Yes.
It ends up that we have a very, very high amount of thyroid nodules in Harlem, but we actually, fortunately, have a very low rate of thyroid cancer in the African American community. Now, that doesn't mean you can go out there and ignore it because the rate is not zero, but you did the right thing. You went ahead and got the biopsy done and proved that it wasn't cancer. But, that is as I said, we have a lot of thyroid nodules. If they're over a certain size, or go ahead and do the biopsy and make sure that it's not cancer.
And Miss Adrian, I just want to add that, I'm glad that you're asking these questions. And one of the things that I even appreciate, especially as a practitioner, is when I have a patient that asks questions, about diagnostic testing, therapies and alternative therapies, all of these things. Because, really what we want is for both us and you to be on the same page, in terms of the things that are going to happen. So it's good that you're asking these questions. And I just want to make sure, and press that you make sure that you're asking your practitioners, your provider. Yes. Go in there armed with information and ask questions so that you get, what you want in terms of treatment and stuff like that. It's very important.
So do the iodine pills, do you have to take more than one time, the first time at work, or does it eliminate your thyroid eventually?
So for the majority of patients, they only need to go through this once. So they do a small test. It sounds like they probably already did that test just to try to figure out what dose would be appropriate. And then once they decide on a dose, they order that from the company, and it comes in the next day, and you just take the one pill. People who get radiation eventually develop hypothyroidism. But the question is it going to happen in 6 months, a year, 5 years, or 20 years? We aim for it to not happen for 20 years or more, but sometimes this isn't an exact science, unfortunately. So sometimes you can become hypothyroid, within a few years. If that happens, though, the good news is we can treat that.
Yes.
So if your thyroid hormone levels go too low, we can give you the medication to bring the thyroid hormone back up to the normal levels. It's a one pill once a day. Once the doctor finds the right dose for you,
people
basically
do pretty well.
Yeah, go on about your life and just take your pill every day and forget about your thyroid for most of the year, and just go back for your appointment, once every 6 months or so with the doctor.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck with everything.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, you too. Thank you for calling in.
Well, okay.
All right. Bye. So that's the thing too, is being armed with information, which hopefully we're getting across tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that there are options, and one, to just be aware, which we said from the outset of the show. This is a problem that there are a good number of people that are dealing with this problem. I think upwards of 25 million people affected by variants of thyroid disease. And there are a good number, significant many more that are dealing with this day to day and don't even know. So, the thing is that there is help, and you have options, but you got to be aware in order to explore that. Now, in terms of a person walking in to the clinic, do they have to be referred to you guys, or is there a walk-in clinic for endocrinology and for thyroid disease? How does it work at Harlem Hospital?
So in Harlem, excuse me, right now the endocrine clinic is very full, and as I said, a lot of it is thyroid patients. So we recommend everyone go to the primary care doctor first. As I said, it's pretty easy to evaluate it and pick it up, and then once it's picked up, then people refer the patients over to me, and I can just make sure that everyone understands what's going on, what the options are. And get the patients, stabilized as quickly as possible.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, all throughout the Health and Hospitals Corporation, ladies and gentlemen, there are endocrinologists looking for you, ready to treat you. So you have the resources. They're there and they're at your disposal as New Yorkers. And, I was telling Dr. Truesdale about an experience in my own family where, a member of my family has been having problems with their thyroid, and unfortunately hasn't been able to get the follow-up that they need because of a lack of access to care through insurance. And this can be something that can be expensive. However, here in New York City, we're very fortunate to have the Health and Hospitals Corporation and also HHC options, which you can be fee scaled, so you can be seen, you can be treated. And remember that the mission of the Health and Hospitals Corporation, which includes hospitals like Harlem Hospital Center, Kings County Hospital Center, Lincoln, we have Elmhurst, all of these big top-notch medical centers, Bellevue, where you can go and be treated, and regardless of your ability to pay. Regardless of your immigration status, your ability to pay, all of this, we will work with you to ensure that you are taken care of. So
yes, the director of our ambulatory care center likes to tell people, if you walk in and you need treatment, we will get you treatment. No matter what's going on, we're not trying to get you in trouble with anyone. We're not reporting you to anyone. Our primary goal is to get you medical care that you need. And I know we've been doing a lot in the Harlem Hospital Center to try to encourage the African community, because I know Africans come over here. We have quite a good group of people here in the community, and they may feel a little shy or intimidated. They may feel like they have language barriers. We have interpreters. We have a special clinic just for the
That's right.
West Africans.
Medina
it's the
Clinic.
Medina Clinic, where they have full-time interpreters to help out. So there really should be no reason. Don't be shy. Come on over.
Yes, we want you to come. And we see the same thing at Kings County Hospital in Brooklyn. We have individuals there from, all walks of life. We have people, middle class people, hardworking middle class people, people that are doing pretty well for themselves. And we have people that really don't have the resources or struggle, despite the fact that they work very hard, but they have access to care. And it's something that we really need to take advantage of, because we're very fortunate to be in New York City and to have these resources available. And we're talking about top-notch people, experts in their field, like Dr. Truesdale, that are there ready to serve you. So it's something to be aware of, and something to really, really take advantage of. And we can't stress that enough.
Yes, yes.
So real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking our last break for the evening, and we would love to have you call in to have any questions, comments, or concerns answered. And it's awesome because it really helps us out too, because it leads us into new directions in our conversation as well by addressing your concerns. So once again, you can call us at 212-650-6903. That is 212-650-6903. You can also call us, or you can also leave a message on our Facebook page. Just log on to Facebook, type in Health in Harlem. Sean and I will pop up, and then you can leave your question, comment, or concern right there. You're listening to Health in Harlem. We will be right back. Stay with us.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Domestic violence and abuse can happen at anyone, yet the problem is frequently ignored, excused, or denied. According to an article by the Huffington Post, 24 women per minute experience violence with their partner. According to the hotline.org, between 55 and 95% of women in 10 different countries, including the United States, who had been physically abused had never contacted non-governmental organizations, shelters, or the police for help. Domestic violence has become a worldwide epidemic. If you are a victim of domestic violence or if you know someone who is being abused, you don't have to be afraid to tell. You can contact WARM. WARM stands for We All Really Matter and is located right here in Harlem. You can contact them at 347-346-6210 or visit their website at www.weallreallymatter.org. WARM will help you heal from and leave an abusive relationship. They will also help you transition from a shelter and rebuild your life. Again, that number is 347-346-6210.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Vinny B of the Vinny B Showcase. Tune in every Thursday from 8 to 12 midnight for some solid cultural roots music and some sweet lovers rock. Also, informative interviews and giveaways. Right here on the Vinny B Showcase every Thursday, 8 through 12 midnight on Whcr 90.3 FM. Peace.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Welcome back to Health in Harlem, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Maurice Selby, and you're my co-host tonight, so. And you're Dr. Truesdale. No, I'm messing around. I'm so used to having Sean because we'll do our little introductory thing. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Maurice Selby. You're listening to Health in Harlem on WHCR 90.3 FM New York. And tonight we have with us Dr. Rhonda Truesdale, a veteran of the program, and also the chief of endocrinology at Harlem Hospital Center. And we're talking about thyroid diseases tonight. And before we went to break, we were talking about the options that you have here in New York City in terms of receiving treatment for thyroid diseases. So we just want to reiterate that, you know, all throughout the New York City, we have the Health and Hospitals Corporations, both the major hospitals, the main hospitals all throughout the 5 boroughs, and also clinics, satellite clinics scattered all throughout that you can go and receive care for a very affordable well, regardless of your ability to pay, actually, but it can be very affordable. And this is a service that I took advantage of even as an undergraduate student here at the City College of New York in terms of the HHC options program and the fee scaling, which worked out very well. So that's just my testimony as to how this all works. And we had a caller during our break that had a couple of questions, and the first being, in terms of diet and nutrition and how this impacts thyroid disease.
So this is an interesting topic that oftentimes comes up, and I'm probably going to start with the more extreme example. So in countries where there is a low iodine in the diet, without iodine, sometimes the thyroid gland can grow quite large. So, we call it goiter. And it doesn't necessarily mean the thyroid gland's not working. It just means it's getting bigger and bigger. So especially for people coming in from other countries, you may find that it's common in your country to have a very large thyroid gland, and maybe people don't even really think about it much. And one of the causes for those big thyroid glands can be that there's not a lot of iodine in their normal diet. Here in the United States, many years ago, it was decided that we would supplement the food with iodine, and actually the primary way we do it is by having iodinized salt.
Yes.
So if you go to the grocery store and you go to grab a salt, you may notice that there's actually two varieties of salt. One says with iodine and one says without iodine. So for the most part, we don't see those big, huge goiters here in the United States like they do elsewhere because we have the iodine that's in the salt. Now, iodine is necessary for the thyroid to function properly. So sometimes you see in advertisements that, if you have a low thyroid, you should take a iodine supplement. Iodine supplements can be helpful to someone who has a slightly sluggish thyroid gland. But the problem is that the amount of iodine your thyroid gland may need could be a delicate balance. You may need a little bit more than what you're getting in your normal diet, but if you start to take too much iodine, it may actually have an effect of sort of blunting the thyroid action. So when you go into, if someone says, I was told by the doctor I have a thyroid problem, and then they go into a health food store and they look for, one of these natural supplements, and the supplement says, for thyroid, usually what it is that's in that supplement is iodine. So as I said, if your thyroid is sluggish, may be a little bit helpful,
But it could tip the balance as well.
But it could tip the balance as well.
Got it.
If you're hyperthyroid and your body's making lots and lots of thyroid hormone, giving iodine may cause some more problems for you. Going into the store and just saying, I got thyroid, I'm going to get this thyroid, over-the-counter medication, really need to talk to your doctor first, because may or may not be helpful for your specific types of thyroid condition. And I think we talked about that earlier in the show. There's different kinds of thyroid conditions, and the Graves' disease and the hyperthyroidism, the hypothyroidism could be like the nodules and the multinodular goiter that our caller had. Once you know you have hyperthyroidism, I generally recommend people to not have foods that are high in iodine. And those
we've seen what happened with the other individual you said that went to the shrimp eating contest.
So I think he had not been diagnosed before, but he probably had an underlying thyroid condition. But then lots and lots of fish tipped it over. Now, most people aren't going to a shrimp eating contest in the summertime. However, people like to eat a lot of seafood in the summertime, especially, right? So shrimp, lobster, all the shellfishes, oysters, those types of foods. And even if you have sushi, the seaweed that they wrap a lot of the sushi in is very high in iodine as well. Did not know that. So those are foods that I just recommend. Once you're diagnosed with hyperthyroidism, stay away from those while you're on the treatment. And then just ask your doctor when it's safe to go back and start eating a regular diet again.
Got it. And one of the other points that the caller made was that she felt like physicians don't have adequate knowledge of nutrition to begin with. And you know what? I can't even argue with you on that point, on our caller. Thank you for making that comment, because it's actually true, and it's I think one of the weaknesses to a certain extent in medical education. But I think it's just that physicians' focus and training is different, and there is a specialized group of healthcare practitioners, nutritionists, and dietitians that have this fund of knowledge. And the good thing is that in healthcare and in medicine, there's more collaboration amongst the two disciplines. because when you really look at it, we're talking about two very, very different, although very intimate in terms of the importance and the interrelation between the two. They're very different disciplines. And we're talking about, as clinicians, as physicians, you're trying to diagnose and treat illnesses. And whereas nutritionists are taking this knowledge of food and nutrition and nutrients and using that to apply to disease treatment. So, very different disciplines, but the good news is that we collaborate. And anytime you go to a practitioner and you're being taken care of by a physician, you want more in-depth information or more management in terms of how to eat properly, and regardless of your health conditions and stuff, but especially if you have some chronic diseases that you're dealing with, including thyroid disease, we can bring in nutritionists for you to speak to. And this is why, going back to our other caller, that when we were telling them, look, ask questions, get involved in your care, be your own healthcare advocate, you have a right to speak to nutritionists and dietitians and have these services to supplement the medical care that you're receiving. So, if you have concerns and you feel like your questions weren't answered, we can always bring in those people to help you fine tune your diet and stuff like that. So.
And so the first thing I'm going to say is I completely agree. I mean, it's unfortunate that there's so much stuff that doctors need to be aware of and learn, and diseases and treatments, that nutrition does kind of get pushed to the sidelines.
True story.
And I think every doctor out there wishes they knew a lot more about nutrition than what they currently have in their disposal. But I would emphasize what you said, that there are nutritionists, dietitians that can help kind of sort out what a good food plan or good food choices are for you. And I think one of the good things that's come out of Obamacare is an emphasis on in the primary care clinic that you don't just have a doctor, that you have a doctor and a nurse practitioner and nurse educators and dietitians.
Your
and
whole
nutritionists.
healthcare team.
You have a whole healthcare team. And so there's actually funding, more funding to bring in more nutritionists, more dietitians. And that has been more emphasized in the last year or two. So, I see this all the time. The other big disease I end up taking care of is diabetes, right?
Yes.
So the first thing everyone asks me when they get diagnosed with diabetes is, what can I eat? And, that could be a very lengthy discussion. What can you eat that's not going to make your sugar go up? But then sometimes maybe you have high blood pressure. You got to make sure you're watching your salt. Maybe you have thyroid disease. You need to make sure what's going on with your iodine, renal disease, phosphate. And sometimes patients just throw their hands up and say, well, what am I supposed to eat?
Oh my goodness.
But you're right. We do need to have patients ask for. I mean, if we forget to offer it because we're busy writing prescriptions or whatever, we do, respect that there's lots of questions about food and nutrition, and that we do have specialists on staff who can help sort of design that program for you.
Yes, indeed. So, Dr. Truesdale, as we begin to wrap up tonight's show, what would you say is the most important message that our listening audience should take home with them tonight?
That thyroid disease is a lot more common than you may have been led to believe. If you have a family member with thyroid disease, definitely let your doctor know so you can get checked out for that as well. And it's pretty easy to treat, and doesn't have to take over your whole life. But it's important to be balanced, right? So if you feel like you're out of balance, it might be something as simple as your thyroid is out of whack and just needs to be fine-tuned.
Yes. And we want to thank you very much for joining us on tonight's program. And you are always welcome back to join us in the future. So I guess we can name you our official endocrinologist, the Health in Harlem official.
I'll take that title. I'll accept it.
Thank you very much for joining us once again. And you're always welcome to join us. And we also want to thank my man Sean Shivers, ladies and gentlemen. Couldn't make it with us here tonight, but he's always here in spirit, and we look forward to your return next week, Sean. We also want to thank our listening audience and the callers that called in, asking very, very insightful questions and questions that led us to new directions in our conversation. So thank you very much, and continue to listen. And remember, don't be stingy with the information that you learned. If you can share this with the people in your community, that would really make me feel very, very good. And also, we want to thank Miss Valerie Wright. She is the producer of Health in Harlem, and we wouldn't have such wonderful guests like Dr. Truesdale without Valerie Wright's work in the Department of Community Outreach at Harlem Hospital. So shout out to Valerie. We also want to thank you, the listening audience, for tuning in, and continue to stay tuned to Health in Harlem each week, 7 p.m. Thursdays. And ladies and gentlemen, you have the Vinny B Showcase coming up next, so stay tuned. Do not touch that dial. You're listening to Health in Harlem. This show is dedicated to the memory of Miss Gloria Thomas. Harlem, take care of yourself.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
The sign of the time we're living in. Got to use it every day. It's what we need today. Oh, we got to use it every day. It's what we need today. Wisdom and knowledge will guide you through. Don't you be the devil too. No, you can't guide a people without a vision. You shall surely go astray. the Bible can teach you wisdom. Whether you wise or you dumb, an elder can teach you wisdom. Whether you're old or you're young, oh wisdom, oh wisdom, oh wisdom. Only a fool trust in his own eye and disregard correction. You got to be humble, free from anger, and your days shall be low. You gotta use every day. It's what we need today. You gotta use it, yeah. Every day. It's what we need today. Whoa. Oh, wisdom. Whoa. All right now. Oh, wisdom. Hey.
Fellow citizens of Africa, I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World. As you are aware, the world in which we live today is divided into separate race groups and distinct nationalities. Each race and each nationality is endeavoring to work out its own destiny to the exclusion of other races and other nationalities. We hear the cry of England for the Englishman, of France for the Frenchman, of Germany for the German, of Ireland for the Irish, of Palestine for the Jew, of Japan for the Japanese, of China for the Chinese. We of the Universal Negro Improvement Association are raising the cry of Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. The great problem of the Negro for the last 500 years has been that of disunity. No one or no organization ever succeeded in uniting the Negro race.
You can enslave us, was done for 300 years, the bodies of men. You can shackle the hands of men. You can shackle the feet of men. You can imprison the bodies of men. But you cannot shackle or imprison the minds of men. Chant them down. Chant them down. Words from Marcus Messiah Garvey. Words, sound, and power. They do not know what we are capable of. They do not know what we are thinking. They're thinking in terms of dreadnoughts, battleships, aeroplanes, submarines. You know what we're thinking about? That is our own private business. Chant them down. Chant them down. Words from Marcus Messiah Garvey. Words, sound, and power. Black men of Carthage, black men of Ethiopia, Timbuktu, Alexandria gave the light of civilization to this world. Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hands unto God, and princes shall come out of Egypt. Thus classes, nations, races have been quite for over 4 centuries, who was merely born of use, insult, humiliation, whose forbearance can only be compared to the prophet Job, as likewise lifted his bowed head and raised it up to God's skies and cried out, I am a man, and demand a man's chance and a man's treatment in this world. But I shall teach the black man to see beauty in his own kind and stop bleaching his skin and otherwise looking like what he's not. African freedom, African freedom. Chant them down, chant them down. God made man Lord of his creation, gave him possession and ownership of the world. And you have been so darned lazy that you have allowed the other fellow to run away with the whole world, and now he's bluffing you and telling you that the world belongs to him and that you have no part in it. I don't have to apologize to anybody for being black, because God Almighty knew exactly what he was doing when he made me black. If black people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves. Yes, you heard it, Johnny Walker red and black. Well, he had his adversities, but he's still going strong. Well, I intend with your help and God's grace to continue, because my work has only just begun. And future generations shall have in their hands the guide by which they shall know the sins of the 20th century. I know, and I know you too believe in time, but we shall wait patiently for 200 years if need be to face our enemies through our posterity. When my enemies are satisfied, in life I shall come back, or in death even to serve you as I served before. In life I shall be the same, in death I shall be a terror to the foe.
Teach them, Gavi, teach them. Tell them, Gavi, tell them. Want them, Gavi, want them. Chant them down. Chant them down. Yahweh, Mosiah, Yahweh.
If death has power, then count on me to be the real Marcus Garvey I would like to be. If I may come in an earthquake or a plague or a pestilence, or as God would have me, then be assured that I shall never desert you and make your enemies triumph over you. Will I not go to hell a million times for you? If I die in Atlanta, my work will only just then begin. For I shall live in the physical or the spiritual to see the day of Africa's glory. When I am dead, wrap the mantle of the red, the black and the green around me, for in the new life I shall rise up first with God's grace and blessing, to lead the millions of the heights and the triumph that you well know. Look for me in a world when there is storm, look for me all around you, for with God's grace I shall come back with countless millions of black men and women who have died in America, those who have died in the West Indies, and those who have died in Africa, to aid you in the fight for liberty, freedom, and life.
African freedom, African freedom and liberty. Chant them down, chant them down. Yahweh, Yahweh, Mosiah, Yahweh. Chant them down, 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 down.
Our great scholars having passed through the colleges and universities have thrown away the blessed record. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Germany under Prince von Bismarck did it. England under America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you will die. You race of cowards, you race of imbeciles, you race of good for nothing. If you cannot do what other men have done, what other nations have done, what other races have done, then you have better die.
Teach them, Gavi, teach them. Want them, Gavi, want them. Tell them, Gavi, tell them. Chant them down, chant them down. Gavi, Marcus, Gavi. Chant them down, chant them down. Gavi.
Can we do it? We can do it. We shall do it.
African must do it. African must do it. African got to do it. Chant them down. Chant them down. Gabi, Marcus, Mosiah, great prophet from Jamaica to Africa.
our physical, natural enemies. Asexual orientation, the religious affiliation, the prolonging, poised with promiscuity, or one's gender is not a concern as
Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Revoluting for a cause, just because that old Babylon cause. We're bonding for revolution. Born to a bloody revolution.
the revolution will not focus on landlords against land leases, lessors, management or union heads against the unrepresented workers
90.3 FM,
or
New York.
an upsurgous gang or clan attacks.
WHCR
Not the
90.3
haves
FM, New York.
against the have-nots, the unemployable, the undereducated, malnourished, unwanted, against whom a system plotted. No, but a revolution destined on the script of black survival will take place. Not mothers against daughters, nor sons against the entire family. First, second, or third, the class system won't come up. But a revolution is a must. The boundaries based on the remnants of religious, geopolitical, or educational compliance crumble to the stroke of store-bought whiteouts as insignificant.
We're breaking down the party, facing off to that which divides we, from the Roman Saxons to the Arab doctrines to the Catholics, Catholicos. None can stop we
No marching in the streets. Placards, bandanas, slogans, or ideologies draw no attention to a generation's wants, needs, or gap. A revolution without planned bloodshed or the onslaught known as black on black. No propaganda to trivialize the agenda, as the media broadcasts won't know what's up, while this revolution will take place deliberately in all major cities, small villages, and one-man towns. The revolution to free the black man's mind is a must, as the black mind for hundreds of years has been in a captive state, in stagnant negativity, in a mental debt, committing genocidal suicide. The mind needs to be rescued, yet
Well, this is a speech to all Jamaicans and the rest of the world, especially for those who have been victimized of their own civil rights and have been badly brutalized by just saying the right thing. I'm now presenting myself to you as a victim of this system of organized crime, which have been supported by a committed set of people whose conscience is piercing wicked, who have lost the feelings of mankind, who have always remained shame. They use us as target. They're licensed to kill and committed legal crime with promises of protection by their so-called constitution, which is the climax of inhuman. Because they have been strongly supported by their ministers, judge, lieutenants, commissioners, lawyers, who have spent years studying how to defend, preserve, and disguise their guilty activity of injustice. They talk about force, Jamaica Defense Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, which is force of ignorance, pure ignorance. When we speak the truth about our living experience of injustice, they use force to quiet you. They drill to kill to live, because they don't know how to live to live. Then they sing Jamaica land we love. Forget about the people. So now you know that we realize we don't need your protection. You're too inquisitive in our life. We have heart of flesh. We don't need mental lead nor copper to protect us. What we need is not what you have to offer. Our need comes from God. So now we demand your subtraction from our life. Surely we can make it without you. You and your dirty way of living, who at present cause our children to be suffering the inconvenience of today's transportation disaster, so the educational background can remain inferior, dark and illiterate. Then we become their target. We graduate from school straight into the prison which we now demand to be diminished. Then we would know who's the real criminal. Yes, away with the prison. Then we would know who's the real criminal.
It's complex. It's very complex. It's complex. It's very complex. Why is it complex? It's just complex. I'm under the pretext upon I was cast the hex. The effects. I write and recite text. Am I blessed to curse? Wait, before you say yeah or nay, I must say first, it matters not what you say. I'm gonna say what I have to say. If you think I'm arrogant, I'm sorry if it seems that way. I can explain why it does, but it will take all day. It's complex. It's very complex. Why is it complex? It's just complex. Take a life of conflict and strife into context. The effects from being on one's toes. Moles the type who readily goes wherever, whenever a good wind blows. One seldom knows where one may be next. The context of a life of conflict and strife. It's complex. It's very complex. It's complex. It's very complex. religion or a complex division. Check the effects they have on man, divide man into fractions like seas divide the land. And when they mix up with conflicts between Anglicans, Catholics, Evangelists, Baptists, and whatever I missed, you can add to this however you choose. Muslims, Jews, upper and lower caste, Hindus. Under politics, add race and class to the mix of Republicans, Democrats, Socialists, Communists, and big business too. Can you tell who is who? Or is it too complex? It's complex. It's very complex. It's complex. It's very complex. Love is my solution because I understand it's complex. So I hold my rage, vex it on the page, otherwise I never get vexed. Vex at this stage, at my age, please. God is love, and God provide the trees that set my mind at ease so I can flex my mental capabilities. And in times like these, where so many in Africa are still dying from disease, war, starvation, I hear a nation crying. There's no denying, I feel it, so I must reveal it, even though it's very, very, very complex. It's very complex. Complex. It's very complex. It's complex. It's very complex. Why is it complex? It's just complex. I'm under the pretext upon I was cast the hex. The effects.
Whcr 90.3 FM, New York.
Veterans have difficulty transitioning their military skills into civilian jobs. In New York City, an estimated 17,300 veterans are unemployed. Are you a veteran in desperate need of help? Do you want to take advantage of a life-changing opportunity? If so, the 369th Veterans Outreach Program is designed to assist veterans in Harlem and surrounding communities. Veteran services include resume preparation, interview workshops, access to interview attire, and reliable transportation. For more information, call the 369th Veterans Outreach Program at 646-533-9292.
CNN.com recently named New York City as the most stressful city in the United States because of the high cost of living, long commutes, and overcrowded conditions. Some New Yorkers combat stress with exercise and fun activities in Central Park. But if stress has become too overwhelming for you to cope with, there is help. Harlem Hospital has an outpatient clinic that can help you deal with stress, alcoholism, anger management, and substance abuse. Seminars and workshops are held at Harlem Hospital on West 137th Street between Lenox and 5th Avenues on the 4th floor. Workshops are held Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon. Call 212-939-3210 for more information.
Hi, this is Sister Virginia Cotton, and I'll take you to that place every Tuesday morning from 6 to 10 in the a.m. on the Gospel Legends program. We'll lift the Savior and take a trip down memory lane. How far back will I go? Tune in on Tuesday morning, WHCR 90.3 FM from 6 to 10 in the a.m. And don't forget the website. That's the 3Ws.WHCR.org. I'm so excited.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes actress Gertrude Hadley Jeanette, founder of the Hadley Players. Gertrude Hadley Jeanette was born on November 28, 1914, in Urbana, Arkansas, to Willis Lawrence Hadley and Sally Gertrude Crawford Hadley. Instead of attending college, she married Joe Jeanette II and moved to New York City in 1934. Though she would eventually become a talented playwright, producer, and actress, she didn't start out that way. During World War II, she became the first woman to drive a New York City taxicab and to get a license to ride a motorcycle. Around the time of the war, she decided to further her education and took speech classes to help sharpen her speaking. In 1945, she got the lead role for the movie Our Town. She will go on to star in television and plays, her first play being This Way Forward in 1950. Hadley starred in a number of plays, including Lost in the Stars, Amen Corner, and The Great White Hope. Her films include Shaft, Black Girl, and Cotton Comes to Harlem. Later on in her career, Hadley founded the Hadley Players, right here in Harlem, to help develop young artistic talent. She has also produced and written her own work. Because of her success on Broadway and in film and TV, she has received several awards. In 1991, the National Black Theater Festival recognized her as a living legend. In 1998, she received the Lionel Hampton Legacy Award. At age 96, she has retired and lives right here in Harlem. Gertrude Hadley Jeanette, a true Harlem legend. To learn more about Ms. Jeanette, please visit www.thehistorymakers.com.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes activist Hubert Harrison, a true Harlem legend. Hubert Henry Harrison is described as the father of Harlem radicalism. Born on April 27, 1883, in St. Croix, he was a writer, orator, educator, critic, and a radical political activist in Harlem. He came to America as an orphan when he was 17 to live with his older sister. Although his father was born a slave in St. Croix, he was particularly shocked by lynching and the level of racism he experienced in America. This influenced him to become the leading Black organizer in the Socialist Party of America from 1912 to 1914. In 1917, he started The Voice, the first race-conscious newspaper of the new Negro movement. Around 1903, he became a citizen and started writing letters to the editor of the New York Times on topics such as lynching and Charles Darwin. He worked alongside Arthur Schomburg, the first donor and curator of the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, right here in Harlem. In 1924, he founded the International Colored Unity League, which encouraged Black people to unify and fight racial oppression. Harrison spoke on topics like birth control, evolution, literature, and racial aspects of World War I. His outdoor talks, which combined class and race issues, inspired Marcus Garvey and would later inspire Malcolm X, A. Philip Randolph, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to follow his methods of communication. Harrison died at the age of 44 on December 1927, and is remembered as the most distinguished, if not the most well-known Caribbean radical in the United States in the early 20th century. For more information on Hubert Harrison, visit harlemworldblog.wordpress.com and jeffreybperry.net. Perry is the author of Hubert Harrison, The Voice of Harlem Radicalism. Hubert Henry Harrison is a true Harlem legend.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes filmmaker William Miles. William Miles was born and raised in Harlem and is known for the films he made that showcase Harlem's illustrious history. Born August 19, 1931, his first-hand knowledge of Harlem gave his films credibility. For 25 years, he renewed archival films for Killiam Shows, Incorporated, and the Walter Reed Foundation in New York City. This led to his interest in documentary filmmaking. In 1977, his breakthrough film Men of Bronze debuted at the New York Film Festival and was later broadcast on PBS. It told the story of the 369th Infantry Regiment, known as the Harlem Hellfighters. The film put a spotlight on segregation in the U.S. Army and showed how valiantly Black soldiers fought under the French flag in World War I. The Harlem Hellfighters spent more time in the frontline trenches than any other American unit. Other Allied troops included the French, Moroccan, and Senegalese soldiers. But his best-known work is a 4-part series he produced and directed in 1981 called I Remember Harlem. The film was a critical look at Harlem's famous and diverse history. Covering the 17th century through the early 1980s, the film covers the Harlem Renaissance, the Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, political activism in the era of Malcolm X, and the problems and redevelopment in the 1970s. He even showcased the community service Father Divine provided to Harlem residents during the 1930s by providing free and cheap meals to the poor. Miles received Oscar nominations, Emmy Awards for films like The Black West, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Association for Independent Video and Filmmakers. Miles's film archive is kept at the Washington University Film and Media Archive in St. Louis, Missouri. Mr. Miles currently lives in Queens, New York with his wife. William Miles, a true Harlem legend. To learn more about William Miles, visit www.historymakers.com.
Hey, this is Donna, and I want to personally invite you to my restaurant, Home Sweet Harlem. Home Sweet Harlem is a lovely American bistro located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can join us for a good cup of coffee, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our menu includes heart-healthy foods like a variety of fresh mixed salad greens, grilled garlic shrimp, smoothies, and fresh juices. The amazing St. Nicholas Park turkey burger and the grilled marinated chicken kebabs are among our most popular dishes. Our weekend brunches include a delicious farmer skillet, which is a baked omelet, and it's baked in a cast iron skillet and served with homemade biscuits. We also offer an affordable meeting space for community groups, art shows, and live music. That's Home Sweet Harlem, located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can reach us at 212-926-9616.
You're going to be showcase. WHCR 90.3 FM. Yuri Banton says, mankind, you better know yourself. But you know what? The question is it today's mankind, yesterday's mankind, or tomorrow mankind? WHCR 90.3 FM will be showcase. Enjoy.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
I'm on the worries, I'm on the trouble. Oh, yo. I'm on the worries, I'm on the trouble. Anywhere you go, it's the same cry. Yes, money worries, money worries. Anywhere you go, I'm only worries, money worries. To have a comfortable place of rest, or a nice car to drive. Anything you need these days, money is the only answer. Yeah, anywhere you go.
Yeah. Who can say otherwise, eh? Anything you need in this world, this time in life, is money. Comes right back to the cash, right? So who can dispute what made to understand? And this song was made way back in the late 60s, early 70s. Oh, let's do it one more time.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
I'm on the worries, I'm on the trouble.
90.3 FM, New York.
I'm on a trouble. Anywhere you go, it's the same cry. Yes, money worries, money worries. Anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay. Money worries, money worries. To have a comfortable place of rest, or a nice car to drive. Anything you need these days, money is the only answer. Yeah, anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay. Money worries, money worries. Anywhere you go, it's the same. Yes, money worries, money worries. Everyone would like to live happy, eating and wearing the best in life. But to really do so, my friends, money is the only problem. Yes, anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay. Money worries, money worries. Anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay. Money worries, money worries. Everyone would like to live happy, eating and wearing the best.
So my brother Smiley called me. You know this one is from the album Rockers, you know what I'm saying? From the show Rockers. Because if you saw the show there, you know what it is all about, see? So brother Smiley said to aid up everyone, yes. Wishing everyone a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And hey, stay warm if you can. Let's do this all over again from the top. No matter where you go, it's money worries. May Tones. Vinny Showcase, WSL 90.3 FM. Enjoy.
I'm on your worries, I'm on your trouble. Oh, yo, 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 yo. I'm on your worries, I'm on your trouble. Anywhere you go, it's the same cry. Yes, money worries, money worries. Anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay. Money worries, money worries. To have a comfortable place of rest, or a nice car to drive. Anything you need these days, money is the only answer. Yeah, anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay. Money worries, money worries. Anywhere you go, it's the same. Yes, money worries, money worries. Everyone would like to live happy, eating and wearing the best in life. But to really do so, my friends, money is the only problem. Yes, anywhere you go, ay, 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 ay.
Fire Luther. Me nah stop, praise Selassie, no. Me nah stop, praise Rastafari. Me know, for sure. One thing me know, from me born. Me say from me born. Me say from me born. Me have ambition. Me have to work to get what me want. Me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Me born with ambition. Me have to work to get what me want. Me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Father God show me. Boss man you better give me where you owe me. Hey, me a work for what me want, so me must make it slowly but surely. Science can't hold me. Put me trust in a Emmanuel Holy. Selassie, you guide me from me born, cause me born with. Me say from me born, me have ambition. Me have to work to get what me want, me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Me born with ambition. Me have to work to get what me want, me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Towns up when me come from. Music me never turn a gunman. Hey, me rise out of the slum because me nah go dead inna the dungeon. Hey, so all Babylon a function. Me a still got the spear and the junction. Them can't stop Miss June son. Hey, you better must come. Me say from me born, me have ambition. Me have to work to get what me want, me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Me born with ambition. Me have to work to get what me want, me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Me nah stop, praise Selassie, no. Me nah stop, praise Rastafari. Because me sure, hey, me a work to get more. Me sure, me know from me born. Get a youth is a message to one another. Brush yourself up, get up when you fall. Cause poverty is like a headache, but ambition is like one another. No little music, that's my weapon. So Babylon, tell me where you're on. But mine just can't stop me plan, cause me born with ambition. Me say from me born, me have ambition. Me have to work to get what me want, me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Me born with ambition. Me have to work to get what me want, me never born. Come sing a nice life. Kick out this and me a go fi my slice. Set it. Eyes to the King of Kings. I start set up. Oh, no. Hey, you see me na me turban, tamar peak at me harass. Yeah, me harass. Hey, for me woman no put on no your nah no false eyelash. Hey, she harass. Hey, you see me na me clocks and me sandals, me harass. Yeah, me harass. Yeah, for me pity them no left out the whole Sabbath, yeah, them harass. Yeah, them harass. Hey, no watch me. Say that my style that man up to the time, nothing I me not turn about. If a big car and try to be the keys press, yes. Because me a Filipino up on the hilltop, yes. If you see me in the latest trend, do but I come me no bow for me things. My pocket full of money and the Ben Rasta Ben. The youths them a tell me say me swagging. Coulda see me in a turban, tamar peak at me harass. Yeah, me harass. When me woman no wear false here, nah no false eyelash. Cause she harass. If you see me in a me clocks or me sandals, me harass. Yeah, me harass. When me pity them no left out the whole Sabbath, them harass. Yeah, them harass. Let's be humble. When the rest look at it, them want whip us up and when them living lavish. This big bossy life so shine and police while the youths them and them from rubbish. Them no want Rasta we get rich quick. So when the money make them treat the youths like shh. Smoke them cocaine in at them filthy office. And them a fight against the Rasta chronic. So if you see me na me turban, tamar peak at me harass. Yeah, me harass. For me woman no wear false here, nah no false eyelash. Cause she harass. You coulda see me na me clocks or me sandals, me harass. Yeah, me harass. For for me pity them no left out the whole is about them a ras. Yeah, them a ras. Hypocrite don't know said the facts still remain. No come here suffer beer no damn shame. Man the rasta from the spinal cord to the brain. Island liquids and rain. With every damn snooze in my vein. Emperor Selassie get he praise. Some the gluttonous and brave. Them a fight against the young and the brave. Just me na me turban tamari. Cut me a ras. Yeah me a ras. Tell me woman no put on false. You no false eyelash. Cause she a ras. So me na fi me clocks and me sandals. Me a ras. Yeah me a ras. Say fi me picking them no left out the eyelash. But them a ras. You them a ras. Ain't no one swing. Say ya my style that. And now to the time that you me not and above. If a big car a drive with the key press yes. Because we have to live up on the hilltop yes. If you see me in the latest trend, do one but I come me no bow for me things. Money in my pocket, spending. The youths them a tell me say me swagging. Set it. Eyes is to the King of Kings. I start set up. Oh na 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 na. Hey, you see me na me turban, tamar peak at me a ras. Yeah me a ras. Hey, for me woman no put on no your nah no false eyelash. Hey, she a ras. Hey, you see me na me clocks and me sandals, me a ras. Yeah me a ras. Yeah, for me pity them no left out the whole is about yeah them a ras. Yeah them a ras. Hey, no watch me. Say ya my style that man up to the time nothing you me not and about. If a big car and try to be the keys press yes. Because me a Filipino up on the hilltop yes. If you see me in the latest trend, do one but I gumble me no bow for me things. My pocket full of money and the Ben Rasta Ben. The youths them a tell me say me swagging. Good as
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
All in together now. We can make it better now. Come on, can we do it?
Yeah, you know that we can.
We'll rope it up.
Cause we know how to jump.
We'll roll it out.
Cause we know how to skate.
We'll cut it down.
Cause we know what to eat.
We'll swap it out.
We eat healthy stuff.
Just moving a little and eating better every day can help make you and your kids healthier. Search We Can online to find doable tips and activities that you can use every day. That's We Can. A message from the Ad Council, HHS, and NIH's We Can program.
Each year, 650,000 individuals are released from jails and prisons across America. There's a 67% chance that they'll be incarcerated again within 3 years. While this is a big problem, there's an even bigger solution: education. Education is the most effective response to crime, and College Initiative works to make college a realistic goal for formerly incarcerated New Yorkers. College Initiative works to help formerly incarcerated individuals to become stabilizing forces in their communities and advocates towards working for a safer New York. For more information, visit www.collegeinitiative.org.
Depression is a common mental disorder characterized by sadness, loss of interest or pleasure, feelings of guilt or low self-worth, lack of sleep or appetite, feelings of tiredness, and poor concentration. According to current mental health data, African American adults are 20% more likely to report serious psychological distress. A new study published by the National Institutes of Health says almost half of all Americans will develop some form of mental illness during their lifetime, and that many of those diagnosed first experienced symptoms during their adolescent years. Adult blacks are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. According to the Huffington Post, historical experiences and institutionalized racism can lead to higher rates of depression amongst blacks. Not only are African Americans more likely to suffer from depression, they are also less likely to seek treatment or counseling. Only 31% of African Americans believe that depression is a health problem. Barriers to the treatment of depression, according to some African Americans, include denial, embarrassment or shame, and lack of money or insurance. When African Americans do, however, seek medical advice for their health concerns, they are less likely to receive treatment. According to the Office of Minority Health, only 6.2% of adult blacks versus 13.9% of adult whites received medications for mental health concerns during 2008. According to Mental Health America, the first step in addressing concerns of depression is to talk to your doctor. who may recommend a physical checkup to find out if there is any underlying cause for the depressive symptoms. If clinical depression is diagnosed, then your physician or health maintenance organization will refer you to a mental health specialist such as a psychiatrist, psychologist, pastoral counselor, or social worker. If you are over 65 years old, Medicare pays for 50% of the cost of mental health treatment, and Medigap insurance will typically reimburse the remainder. Many low-income or disabled residents may also be eligible for Medicaid coverage. For more information on depression, treatment costs, and other frequently asked questions, you can visit www.mentalhealthamerica.net.
Let's go to church. Let's go to church.
It's Morning Praise with Dalton Anderson. Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen and enjoy the best in contemporary, traditional, quartet, gospel comedy, holy hip hop, and gospel house music with the man who knows how to wake and bake and shake you right out your gospel beds. It's Morning Praise with Dalton Anderson, Sunday mornings, 8 a.m. on WHCR 90.3 FM. Let's go to church. Come on.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes actress Gertrude Hadley Jeanette, founder of the Hadley Players. Gertrude Hadley Jeanette was born on November 28, 1914, in Urbana, Arkansas, to Willis Lawrence Hadley and Sally Gertrude Crawford Hadley. Instead of attending college, she married Joe Jeanette II and moved to New York City in 1934. Though she would eventually become a talented playwright, producer, and actress, she didn't start out that way. During World War II, she became the first woman to drive a New York City taxicab and to get a license to ride a motorcycle. Around the time of the war, she decided to further her education and took speech classes to help sharpen her speaking. In 1945, she got the lead role for the movie Our Town. She will go on to star in television and plays, her first play being This Way Forward in 1950. Hadley starred in a number of plays, including Lost in the Stars, Amen Corner, and The Great White Hope. Her films include Shaft, Black Girl, and Cotton Comes to Harlem. Later on in her career, Hadley founded the Hadley Players, right here in Harlem, to help develop young artistic talent. She has also produced and written her own work. Because of her success on Broadway and in film and TV, she has received several awards. In 1991, the National Black Theater Festival recognized her as a living legend. In 1998, she received the Lionel Hampton Legacy Award. At age 96, she has retired and lives right here in Harlem. Gertrude Hadley Jeanette, a true Harlem legend. To learn more about Ms. Jeanette, please visit www.thehistorymakers.com.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes filmmaker William Miles. William Miles was born and raised in Harlem and is known for the films he made that showcase Harlem's illustrious history. Born August 19, 1931, his first-hand knowledge of Harlem gave his films credibility. For 25 years, he renewed archival films for Killiam Shows, Incorporated, and the Walter Reed Foundation in New York City. This led to his interest in documentary filmmaking. In 1977, his breakthrough film Men of Bronze debuted at the New York Film Festival and was later broadcast on PBS. It told the story of the 369th Infantry Regiment, known as the Harlem Hellfighters. The film put a spotlight on segregation in the U.S. Army and showed how valiantly black soldiers fought under the French flag in World War I. The Harlem Hellfighters spent more time in the frontline trenches than any other American unit. Other Allied troops included the French, Moroccan, and Senegalese soldiers. But his best-known work is a 4-part series he produced and directed in 1981 called I Remember Harlem. The film was a critical look at Harlem's famous and diverse history. Covering the 17th century through the early 1980s, the film covers the Harlem Renaissance, the Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, political activism in the era of Malcolm X, and the problems and redevelopment in the 1970s. He even showcased the community service Father Divine provided to Harlem residents during the 1930s by providing free and cheap meals to the poor. Miles received Oscar nominations, Emmy Awards for films like The Black West, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Association for Independent Video and Filmmakers. Miles's film archive is kept at the Washington University Film and Media Archive in St. Louis, Missouri. Mr. Miles currently lives in Queens, New York with his wife. William Miles, a true Harlem legend. To learn more about William Miles, visit www.historymakers.com.
In celebration of Black History Month, Whcr salutes activist Hubert Harrison, a true Harlem legend. Hubert Henry Harrison is described as the father of Harlem radicalism. Born on April 27, 1883, in St. Croix, he was a writer, orator, educator, critic, and a radical political activist in Harlem. He came to America as an orphan when he was 17 to live with his older sister. Although his father was born a slave in St. Croix, he was particularly shocked by lynching and the level of racism he experienced in America. This influenced him to become the leading Black organizer in the Socialist Party of America from 1912 to 1914. In 1917, he started The Voice, the first race-conscious newspaper of the new Negro movement. Around 1903, he became a citizen and started writing letters to the editor of the New York Times on topics such as lynching and Charles Darwin. He worked alongside Arthur Schomburg, the first donor and curator of the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, right here in Harlem. In 1924, he founded the International Colored Unity League, which encouraged Black people to unify and fight racial oppression. Harrison spoke on topics like birth control, evolution, literature, and racial aspects of World War I. His outdoor talks, which combined class and race issues, inspired Marcus Garvey and would later inspire Malcolm X, A. Philip Randolph, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to follow his methods of communication. Harrison died at the age of 44 on December 1927. And is remembered as the most distinguished, if not the most well-known Caribbean radical in the United States in the early 20th century. For more information on Hubert Harrison, visit harlemworldblog.wordpress.com and jeffreybperry.net. Perry is the author of Hubert Harrison, the voice of Harlem radicalism. Hubert Henry Harrison is a true Harlem legend.
Hey, this is Donna, and I want to personally invite you to my restaurant, Home Sweet Harlem. Home Sweet Harlem is a lovely American bistro located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can join us for a good cup of coffee, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our menu includes heart-healthy foods like a variety of fresh mixed salad greens, grilled garlic shrimp, smoothies, and fresh juices. The amazing St. Nicholas Park turkey burger and the grilled marinated chicken kebabs are among our most popular dishes. Our weekend brunches include a delicious farmer skillet, which is a baked omelet, and it's baked in a cast iron skillet and served with homemade biscuits. We also offer an affordable meeting space for community groups, art shows, and live music. That's Home Sweet Harlem, located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can reach us at 212-926-9616.
If a guy no got no love, him no job. Him a move like some Whcr Islander. Sure. At this better you buy it, we have to utilize. It's not about your money or your glorious pride. You better got love inside. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, we can feel it.
Keep it locked on WHCR 90.3 FM,
If a guy
New York.
If a guy no got no love, him no job. Him a move like some Whcr Islander.
You having me showcase WHCR 90.3 FM. Cat, happy birthday, bro. Yes. Yeah, today and yesterday too is special days, you know what I'm saying? Yesterday my late brother George passed on a couple of years ago. Yesterday was his birthday. Today my son's birthday. My son is living down there in Florida, Kajaro. And my brethren, Cat, yes, happy birthday. Yeah, years open, everything work out all right for them, and you know, they make a baby today. Cat, happy birthday again. Big up every time.
The love, Bring back the love. Yes, I remember all the days when I was a little youth. We come from the ghetto, we no worry about clothes or shoes. Mama never really got no food from with the
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
If a guy no got no love, him no know job. Him a move like some Whcr Islander. At this better you buy it, we have to utilize. It's not about your money or your glorious pride. You better got love inside. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, we can feel it. Bring back the love, we need it. Sweet, sweet, sweet jam down, we need it. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, I can feel it. Bring back the love, bring back the love. Yes, I remember all the days when I was a little youth. We come from the ghetto, we no worry about clothes or shoes. Mama never really got no food. From with the picnic with the house, so them always a tell me. It was the time me and my friend them in a school. Me never worry about kidnapping a black heart or full moon. We fight, we have to make up before late afternoon, then go home to me mother June. Hey, hey, bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, I can feel it. Bring back the love, we need it. Sweet, sweet, sweet jam down, we need it. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, I can feel it. Bring back the love, hey, hey, bring back the love. More time back. Hey, why so much killing a one? A government and gangster on the yard, and them a roll in a interrat. Everything I want, town the love now one. Give me your high school jelly, make me wash out me heart. Love a figure start, so put away the rat. Load up Italy, save youth a figure par. Man a man, we done all the war. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, we can feel it. Bring back the love, we need it. Sweet, sweet, sweet jam down, we need it. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, I can feel it. Bring back the love, bring back the love. Yes, I remember all the days when I was a little youth. We come from the ghetto, we no worry about clothes or shoes. Mama never really got no food. From with the picnic with the house, so them always a tell me. It was the time me and my friend them in a school. Me never worry about kidnapping a black heart or full moon. We fight, we have to make up before late afternoon, then go home to me mother June. Hey, hey, bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, I can feel it. Bring back the love, we need it. Sweet, sweet, sweet jam down, we need it. Bring back the love, we need it. It's like a blessing from above, I can feel it. Bring back the love, hey, hey, bring back the love. If a guy no got no love, him no know job. Him a move like some Whcr Islander. At this we better you buy it, we have to utilize. It's not about your money or your glorious pride. You better got love inside. Bring back the love, we need it.
How I do them youth, man? Why you could talk to them to trust them? Skylocking, brand new style, remix, wicked and wild, yeah. Yo. Always leaning on the corner like the corner got dropped. So you're always in a confrontation with the cops. Come off on the street with your one bag of chat. Oh, you're bad man, this and you're bad man, that my youth. Get a job or go open a shop. Capture piece of land and go farm some crop. Overall, I one question me want ask. When this madness gonna stop? If every man a got turn up on the roadside and bust it, who go grow the food where fi go in a me dutchie? Me sensing mean ya fi go in a me coaching. How them look who you to move so coffee? Yo, if every man a got turn up on the roadside and bust it, who go grow the food where fi go in a me dutchie? The sensing mean ya fi go in a me coaching. How them get how you to move so smoothie? Me see them on the corner all of the time. From 6 to 6, me see them from 9 to 9. Refuse to get a word, but them quick fi rob you blind. For your granny, for your nanny, for your bills, for your coin. But the Rasta man warning, the ghetto youth will start some farming. So you not have to linger. As a man pass, you push out your finger. If every man a got turn up on the roadside and bossy, walk go go the food where fi go in a me dutchie. Me sense in mean ya fi go in a me coachy. All them look who youth ya walk so dirty. Yo, if every man a got turn up on the roadside and bossy, walk go go the food where fi go in a me dutchie. Me sense in mean ya fi go in a me coachy. All them ghetto youth ya move so smoothie. Hey, can't blame the man no more. I know the wrong they have done before. Slavery, racism and more. But my destiny is in my hand, I'm sure. So get a youth man rise, get a youth man be wise. Open up your eyes, focus on the prize. Find a hustle and come off on the street side. Just be wise. If every man a go stand up on the roadside and bossy, walk up for the food where fi go in a me dutchie. Me high grade where fi go in a me coachy. Oh, them ghetto youth ya so smoothie. Yo, if every man a go stand up on the roadside and bossy, walk up for the food where fi go in a me dutchie. Me sense meal ya fi go in a me coachy. Hey, them youth ya so copy. Always leaning on the corner like the corner got dropped. So you're always in a confrontation with the cops. Come off on the street with your one bag of chat. Oh, your bad man this and your bad man that. My youth, get a job or go open a shop. Yap chop piece of land and go farm some crop. Overall, I one question me want ask, when this madness gonna stop? If every man a got turn up on the roadside and bossy, who go grow the food where fi go in a me dutchie? Me sense in mean ya fi go in a me coachy. All them look who youth ya walk so dirty. Yo, if every man a got turn up on the roadside and bossy, who go grow the food where fi go in a me dutchie? Me sense in mean ya fi go in a me coachy. All them ghetto youth ya move so smoothie. Hey, can't blame the man no more. I know the wrong they have done before. Slavery, racism and more. But my destiny is in my hand, I'm sure.
Yes, and our destiny in our hands, and that is for sure. Yes, so while my brethren celebrating his birthday, I have another brethren grieving the pass of his daddy, his father, loving father, Mr. Beetle. Yeah, a lot of us here in this neighborhood here, Edgecombe, in the Harlem area, know Harold Beetle, little man, always walking, I think somebody said he was about 90 years old, 91 years old, If you see him, you would never believe that he's in his 90s, though, because, this gentleman looked the same way all the time. So if you know Mr. Beatley passed away February 13th, and viewing would be at St. Mark's Church right here at 140th and Edgecombe Avenue. Okay? That is March 7th, next Saturday. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. The viewing will be at the church right here, St. Mark's Church. At, I think the 140th and Edgecombe Avenue, right? Mr. Beadle, you all know Mr. Beadle, and a nice gentleman, he's so pleasant. I have nothing bad to say about the man. I mean, I met the man, talked with the man, as a matter of fact, I know him from Jamaica and his wife and his family, he had a nephew that used to be in my class, Never Manning. So, when I met Sperm Bank, I didn't even know Sperm Bank was his dad. He used to say to me, you know my son, but I'm not even going to tell you who it is. You're going to find out one day. Until when I eventually found out, I was like, what? That's his dad? You know what I'm saying? Sperm Bank, my condolences. Yes, to you and your family, condolences. I know what it is to lose a father. I lost mine, my mother, a couple of years ago, so I know what it is. Dedicating this one to, Mrs. Beadle.
Excellent is thy name, almighty and terrible. No night in Zion, there is no night there. Hallelujah, there is no night there. 'Cause Rastafari is our light, and we need your candlelight. Hallelujah, there is no night there. Oh, just Jah with thy lightning and thy thunder. Cause the whole universe to vibrate and resonate with thy power. Jah! No night in Zion, there is no night there. Oh, hallelujah, there is no night there. Cause Rastafari is our light, and we need no candlelight. Hallelujah, there is no night there. Zion is a holy place. No sin can enter there. No sin can enter there. Yes, me say Zion is a holy place. Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin can enter there. I say no night in Zion, there is no night there. Oh, hallelujah, there is no night there. Rastafari is our light, and we need no candlelight. Hallelujah, there is no night there. Why did Eden rage, and the people imagine a vain thing? See, the kings of the earth set themselves, and rulers take counsel together against the prophet and against his anointed, saying, come, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. But he who sitteth in the highest region shall laugh, cause Zion is a holy place. No sin can enter there. No sin can enter there. Zion is a holy place. Mount Zion is a holy place. No sin can enter there. So I say, no night in Zion, there is no night there. Hallelujah, there is no night there. Cause Rastafari is our light, and we need no candlelight. Hallelujah, there is no night there. Rastafari is our light, and we need no candlelight. Hallelujah, there is no night
Whoa, yeah. Oh, now, yeah. I sojourn many days through sun and rain, hoping for a better day. But it seems like obstacles always in my way. Oh Father, no, I try. By His word I will abide. He protected I from envious and evil eyes. Hold on to your faith. Hold on to your faith. Yeah, I assure, when you're feeling down and low, call on Jah, your soul He restore. He is merciful, ever forgiving to mankind. walk a mile in my shoes, then you see what I'm.
No, it's not Maxi Priest, Michael Dawkins. Sojourn for the new album of the same name. Sojourn, enjoy. Vinny Showcase, WHCR 90.3 FM.
Whoa, yeah. Oh, now, yeah. I sojourn many days through sun and rain, hoping for a better day. But it seems like obstacles always in my way. Oh Father, no, I try. By His word I will abide. He protected I from envious and evil eye.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Domestic violence and abuse can happen at anyone, yet the problem is frequently ignored, excused, or denied. According to an article by the Huffington Post, 24 women per minute experience violence with their partner. According to the hotline.org, between 55 and 95% of women in 10 different countries, including the United States, who had been physically abused had never contacted non-governmental organizations, shelters, or the police for help. Domestic violence has become a worldwide epidemic. If you are a victim of domestic violence or if you know someone who is being abused, you don't have to be afraid to tell. You can contact WARM. WARM stands for We All Really Matter and is located right here in Harlem. You can contact them at 347-346-6210 or visit their website at www.weallreallymatter.org. WARM will help you heal from and leave an abusive relationship. They will also help you transition from a shelter and rebuild your life. Again, that number is 347-346-6210.
Nurse, set up an IV. And you, her boyfriend, you were the driver?
Yes, doctor, but I didn't mean to hurt her. I only had a few drinks. I was just buzzed.
Just buzzed? Oh, then your girlfriend is fine.
Hey, sweetie. I feel great.
She's really okay?
What, are you kidding? No, not really. Nurse, get me a suture kit. Stat.
Buzzed driving. Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation and the Ad Council.
Hello, and welcome to today's lottery drawing. Good luck. And here's today's winning numbers. First one up, it's not yours. Second one, not yours. And another number that's not yours. Okay, this is one number that's yours. It's a 5, but you don't get any money for that. And the final number is not yours.
Yep, so chances are you're not going to hit the lottery anytime soon. Don't get us wrong, the lottery can be fun every now and then. Just please don't rely on it for your future savings. How about this? Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte every day. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Ride your bike instead of buying all that gas. These changes alone can save you thousands a year. Thousands. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feed that piggy bank. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
Greetings. This is Honey from Harlem 411. Tune in to Harlem 411 Friday nights at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. for information on health, education, housing, community events, and more. Harlem 411 serves information to you with the opportunity to call in with your questions. Harlem 411, produced to serve the community's needs. Let us serve you with information. Friday night, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Harlem 411.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes activist Hubert Harrison, a true Harlem legend. Hubert Henry Harrison is described as the father of Harlem radicalism. Born on April 27, 1883, in St. Croix, he was a writer, orator, educator, critic, and a radical political activist in Harlem. He came to America as an orphan when he was 17 to live with his older sister. Although his father was born a slave in St. Croix, he was particularly shocked by lynching and the level of racism he experienced in America. This influenced him to become the leading Black organizer in the Socialist Party of America from 1912 to 1914. In 1917, he started The Voice, the first race-conscious newspaper of the new Negro movement. Around 1903, he became a citizen and started writing letters to the editor of the New York Times on topics such as lynching and Charles Darwin. He worked alongside Arthur Schomburg, the first donor and curator of the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, right here in Harlem. In 1924, he founded the International Colored Unity League, which encouraged Black people to unify and fight racial oppression. Harrison spoke on topics like birth control, evolution, literature, and racial aspects of World War I. His outdoor talks, which combined class and race issues, inspired Marcus Garvey and would later inspire Malcolm X, A. Philip Randolph, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to follow his methods of communication. Harrison died at the age of 44 on December 1927, and is remembered as the most distinguished, if not the most well-known Caribbean radical in the United States in the early 20th century. For more information on Hubert Harrison, visit harlemworldblog.wordpress.com and jeffreybperry.net. Perry is the author of Hubert Harrison, The Voice of Harlem Radicalism. Hubert Henry Harrison is a true Harlem legend.
In celebration of Black History Month, WHCR salutes filmmaker William Miles. William Miles was born and raised in Harlem and is known for the films he made that showcase Harlem's illustrious history. Born August 19, 1931, his first-hand knowledge of Harlem gave his films credibility. For 25 years, he renewed archival films for Killiam Shows, Incorporated, and the Walter Reed Foundation in New York City. This led to his interest in documentary filmmaking. In 1977, his breakthrough film Men of Bronze debuted at the New York Film Festival and was later broadcast on PBS. It told the story of the 369th Infantry Regiment, known as the Harlem Hellfighters. The film put a spotlight on segregation in the U.S. Army and showed how valiantly Black soldiers fought under the French flag in World War I. The Harlem Hellfighters spent more time in the frontline trenches than any other American unit. Other Allied troops included the French, Moroccan, and Senegalese soldiers. But his best-known work is a 4-part series he produced and directed in 1981 called I Remember Harlem. The film was a critical look at Harlem's famous and diverse history. Covering the 17th century through the early 1980s, the film covers the Harlem Renaissance, the Great Depression, the Civil Rights Movement, political activism in the era of Malcolm X, and the problems and redevelopment in the 1970s. He even showcased the community service Father Divine provided to Harlem residents during the 1930s by providing free and cheap meals to the poor. Miles received Oscar nominations, Emmy Awards for films like The Black West, and a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Association for Independent Video and Filmmakers. Miles's film archive is kept at the Washington University Film and Media Archive in St. Louis, Missouri. Mr. Miles currently lives in Queens, New York with his wife. William Miles, a true Harlem legend. To learn more about William Miles, visit www.historymakers.com.
Hey, this is Donna, and I want to personally invite you to my restaurant, Home Sweet Harlem. Home Sweet Harlem is a lovely American bistro located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can join us for a good cup of coffee, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our menu includes heart-healthy foods like a variety of fresh mixed salad greens, grilled garlic shrimp, smoothies, and fresh juices. The amazing St. Nicholas Park turkey burger and the grilled marinated chicken kebabs are among our most popular dishes. Our weekend brunches include a delicious farmer skillet, which is a baked omelet, and it's baked in a cast iron skillet and served with homemade biscuits. We also offer an affordable meeting space for community groups, art shows, and live music. That's Home Sweet Harlem, located at 1528 Amsterdam Avenue between 135th and 136th Streets. You can reach us at 212-926-9616.
From the visions of my mind, looking through the hands of time, we can have a better future if we try.
90.3 FM, New York.
Like I said, it's not Max Priest, it's Michael Dawkins, Visions.
Whoa,
Will be showcased WCR 90.3 FM. Enjoy WCR.org on the web.
Of my mind, looking through the hands of time, we can have a better future if we try. This world can be a better place without war and without hate. If we join together, progress with one hand. Some get on their knees, calling out to see for a solution to solve the problem immediately. This world is filled with so much hate and hypocrisy. Know the truth within yourself and your mind, it shall be free. From the visions of my mind, visions of my mind. Coming by, change is red, change your way to the way. Yeah, that day. From the visions of my mind, visions of my mind. Coming by, change is red, gotta change your way to the way. What's the problem? What's the fuss? Everyone in such a rush. Exploitation, confrontation, discrimination. Corporate greed and rumors of war. This human race will never get far. Music keeps killing people, dying, wealth increasing. So lead a step to the podium to make speed. To the others who wise could see its lies distinctively. This world is filled with so much fraud and hypocrisy. Know yourself, no wreck yourself, no wreck yourself. This is living, hey, yeah. From the visions of my mind, visions of my mind. Coming by. Gotta change it right to the way. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, staying from the album Sojourn, brand new, yes, just out there by the man Michael Dawkins. Yeah, visions. We all got a vision, right? So you got to change your wretched ways and do the right thing. This is one of my favorites on the album. Ain't Evie, my brother.
The road is long with many a winding north way. But I'm strong, strong enough to carry. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So all we go, his welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he would not encumber me. He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
Yeah, and that one guitar you're hearing right there, the man Junior Jazz, yeah. Junior Jazz, I remember Junior Jazz from way back from in the late 80s. I met him, yeah. A nice Rasta man, you know, brethren, you know, yeah. And he knows his guitar works and things. Yell up, brethren.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
Good to know you're still playing a guitar the same way, Junior. Keep it up, man. One love, brethren.
The road is long
WHCR
with
90.3
many a
FM, New York.
winding turn that lead us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong, strong enough to carry. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. So all we go, his welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know he would not encumber me. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. If I'm letting, hello, I'm letting with sadness that everyone's heart even fill with gladness of love, one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. While we're on the way to there, why not share? And the Lord, He doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. He ain't heavy, he's my brother.
WHCR 90.3 FM, New York. WHCR 90.3 FM, New York.
The road is long with many a winding turn
So